Hello, everybody. Breaking news as of 2 hours ago at the time of the recording of this video. Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs has been sued yet again. According to Rolling Stone, that is 6 new accusers. I did want to come and report what Rolling Stone is saying as of 2 hours ago. Today is October 14th, 2024 at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, what I can say before even going into this is we did get a warning of sorts from attorney Busby. We did get this warning from him that there would be lawsuits filed in the coming days. So here is the article here. The Houston lawyer who promised a flurry of new lawsuits against Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs filed his first complaints Monday on behalf of 2 Jane Does and 4 John Does. So 4 John Does meaning male victim or alleged victims, and 2 Jane Does, which would be female. They all claim they were assaulted by Combs between 1995 and 2021. One of the lawsuits is a man who claims he was 16 years old when Diddy allegedly harmed him. And this would have been after being invited to a white party. The lawyer, Tony Busby, confirmed in a statement Monday, so I guess that's today, of his plans to file 6 complaints this week against Combs. The first of the 120 clients Busby previously said he was representing. So he had said he was representing 120 clients, and this is the first 6. Representatives for Diddy did not immediately respond to a request for comment. A John Doe who now lives in North Carolina is the first male minor to accuse Combs of assault. Okay, so the first male who claims to have been a minor at the time of the incident has now sued. He was 16 years old when he was invited to one of Diddy's legendary white parties through a mutual connection in 1998. Now, this person, this male who alleges he was assaulted before he was of legal age, he was allegedly 16 years old whenever it happened. He claims he bumped into Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs during the Hamptons White Party event, taking a photo with the Bad Boy Entertainment founder, which was included in the filing. Now, I will be downloading these filings. There's 5 YouTubers live right now reading them live. So I figured it would be better for me to just do a little bit of a roundup. And I will be diving into the details of these specific complaints. It's going to be a little bit overwhelming, but I will be diving into the details of these specific complaints. But that is not the purpose of this video right now. But apparently in that filing, there is a picture of these two together, meaning Diddy and this John Doe. They begin to discuss Doe's interest in the music industry. This is what the lawsuit alleges, according to this Rolling Stone article, that's whenever Diddy and this John Doe, alleged victim, they start talking at this white party in 1998. They start talking about this person's interest in the music industry, moving to a private area where the conversation, quote, took an unexpected turn for the worst. The lawsuit goes on to claim Diddy allegedly told this John Doe to drop his pants, and he said, "Don't you want to break into the business?" Now, if this is true, that is truly sinister. It's really just nasty. The lawsuit goes on to claim that Diddy then, quote, grabbed John Doe's private parts with his hand, and he was, I don't even want to read this part here. You can read it on the screen. The teenager, it's a teenager. Afterward, Diddy allegedly told John Doe that his people would be in touch. The alleged encounter continues to humiliate and cause shame to this person, John Doe, according to the lawsuit. Another teenager claims she was assaulted too by Diddy in 2004. This was a Jane Doe that alleges she was 19 years old and a college student when she met Diddy at a photo shoot promoting his musical act, Da Band. Now, I think this might have been something to do with making the band. This alleged victim claims that Diddy invited her and her friend to an after party, but asked them to stop by his Manhattan Marriott hotel room first. According to that 19-page complaint, someone in Combs's entourage, quote, suddenly grabbed the women and isolated them in a separate room with Diddy while allegedly telling them, "You know what you're here for." The Jane Doe alleges that Diddy instructed the women to imbibe more drinks and certain substances that he had prepared for them on a table. He, quote, continued getting gradually more and more aggressive with the two women and eventually began forcing and touching them without consent, the lawsuit alleges. When they resisted, quote, Combs ordered Doe's friend to perform a certain act on him or else he would have them both unalived. The woman says Combs, that's Diddy, ignored her attempts to resist and forced her to take her clothes off under threat of violence. Once she was undressed, Diddy, quote, forced himself on her and began to assault her. Diddy fondled, M-worded, and ultimately Miss Doe, all while she was begging him to stop, the lawsuit states. According to the complaint, Diddy told the woman, now this is the person who was allegedly involved with Diddy for something to do with DeBand, okay? She claims in her 19-page lawsuit that was filed today by attorney Busby in Texas that Diddy told her he would be leaving the room, but she had to stay alone in the dark, quote, otherwise she would be unalived. After 30 minutes, a security guard told her she could leave, and she fled the hotel, her lawsuit states. A third lawsuit came from a Georgia-based John Doe. So this is a male victim who is based in Georgia. Okay, so the first one was North Carolina. The second one, I don't remember. And then this one is Georgia. Okay. This person, the Georgia-based John Doe, so male, claims that he was invited to a New York City party hosted by Diddy in October 2021. So this would have only been 3 years ago. After being picked up at the airport by Diddy's associates, the man claims he arrived at the industry event where he was offered substances by Combs' employees, but he refused. The article goes on to say, but after consuming what he believed to be only an alcoholic drink, the man claims the room began spinning and he became disoriented. In a state of confusion, he attempted to remove himself from the situation, seeking a safe space, the lawsuit claims. Quote, as this John Doe tried to leave, a male voice told him to hold on, and he promised to help him. This John Doe claims he awoke in a bedroom, paralyzed, unable to move, speak, or fight back. He distinctly recalls, according to this article, seeing Diddy above him, unclothed, at one point during the assault. During this time, plaintiff was assaulted by at least 3 men. The man described the night as life-altering and says that he has continued to seek therapy to heal from the traumatic event. He is suing for R, aggravated S abuse, assault, and battery. Now, the fourth lawsuit came from a John Doe who claims that Diddy S assaulted him as well. This time, it was at a Macy's flagship department store in Manhattan in May 2008. The man claims that he was working as an advisor for Echo Clothing, a rival to Diddy's Sean John line. Remember Echo, the Echo Red and all that? Now, this John Doe claims that he had previously met Diddy on numerous occasions, so he was familiar with Diddy. This John Doe, who is now based in Ohio, claims that he was inside the Macy's stockroom when Diddy entered the space with 3 bodyguards. Okay, so he's doing his job in the stockroom in the back, doing stockroom things, and Diddy comes back there, but not alone. He came back there with his bodyguards, 3 of them. Notice how the bodyguards are always getting pulled into this. So Diddy and the bodyguards come back there. This man claims he was suddenly struck in the back of the neck, falling to his knees. Now, these are allegations. I wasn't there. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just reading this article. It goes on to say, quote, Diddy approached plaintiff while plaintiff was on his hands and knees and said, perform a certain act on me. Y'all can read it here if you would like to. And referred to the man as Echo, referring to the clothing line. This is like prison. This is like prison stories. Referring to the clothing line that plaintiff worked for, the lawsuit claims. Diddy thereafter forced his private parts into plaintiff's and proceeded to continue to force himself on him. This man claims that Diddy and his bodyguards made threats toward him before leaving the stock room. Diddy then proceeded, according to this article, to hand out Sean John merchandise on the Macy's retail floor as if nothing had happened. The lawsuit adds, This John Doe claims that although he tried reporting the alleged assault to Macy's security, nothing was ever done, and he was later fired from that job. In a fifth lawsuit, a John Doe claims he was also assaulted at one of Diddy's white parties. So this is the second that deals with the white parties. The man claims mass security hired him to work the Hamptons event back in August 2006. Okay, so it's an August 2006 white party this man is alleging this happened at. At this party, Diddy allegedly greeted him and offered him alcoholic drinks throughout the night. By the second drink, the man claims he felt extremely ill and leaned against his truck for support, later claiming he believed the drink was or laced. While the security guard felt sick, Diddy allegedly approached him and pushed him into an open van. Oh, so he was hired to work as a security guard at one of these events. Okay, interesting. So not only are the security guards allegedly being used in the furtherance of his scheme allegedly, but also he's victimizing certain security guards as well, according to these lawsuits. I mean, I don't know, I wasn't there. The lawsuit claims that this man was pushed into an open van and then Diddy held him down and overpowered him. And the man says he, quote, struggled to escape due to the effects of the you-know-what in his system. Diddy allegedly assaulted the man, according to the lawsuit. Quote, all the while dismissing plaintiff's pleas for help by repeatedly saying, you'll be all right. In the years since, the man says, he considers himself an all-American guy, but there is not a day that goes by without thoughts of the traumatic incident. And I bet, I mean, if true, I can imagine it's very traumatic. The sixth lawsuit, and this is the last one, came from a Jane Doe, a female alleged victim, who claims that she attended a promo party for the notorious B.I.G.'s music video, One More Chance, at Elks Plaza in June. So this goes all the way back to 1995. While dancing with friends, the woman claims Diddy took an interest in her and asked to speak somewhere privately. Okay, this is like second or third person that said that Diddy pulled him aside privately. I mean, I guess all of them got pulled aside privately, but some of them more forcefully than others, it seems. In this instance, the lawsuit alleges she agreed, and they headed into a bathroom where Diddy allegedly began kissing the woman. Quote, feeling uncomfortable and confused, Jane Doe asked him to slow down, believing they were there to talk, the lawsuit claims. Quote, instead, Combs advanced aggressively. When Jane Doe attempted to pull away, he violently struck her, meaning Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs, violently struck her, slamming her against the wall and causing her to fall to the floor. She claims that Diddy hit her again before assaulting her. Afterward, he allegedly threatened her by saying, quote, you better not tell anyone about this or you will disappear. Whew. Describing herself as emotionally shattered in the aftermath of the alleged assault, the woman claims she has since avoided news about Combs because it triggers traumatic memories. These 6 new lawsuits follow a dozen other complaints filed over the last year that allege Combs subjected people to abuse during his heyday as a hip-hop mogul. The flood of lawsuits started with the bombshell R&S Ficking lawsuit filed against Combs by his ex-girlfriend Cassie last November, and it was quickly followed by several more accusers stepping forward and a criminal investigation that led to Diddy's indictment by a grand jury last month. He was arrested in Manhattan on September 16th on racketeering and trafficking charges. And in the 14-page indictment, prosecutors said Combs ran a criminal enterprise that engaged in unlawful acts of violence, including violence, interstate transportation for the purposes of selling, narcotics distribution, arson, bribery, kidnapping, and obstruction of justice. Prosecutors said a main function of the alleged enterprise was to lure female victims into Combs's orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship, and then to use, quote, force, threats of force, and coercion to make the victims engage in elaborate and produced. This is in the criminal indictment. Elaborate and produced sexual performances that Combs would call freak-offs. The extended acts often involved commercial workers and would sometimes last multiple days, the indictment said. Combs allegedly distributed substances to these alleged victims to keep them obedient and compliant. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges in the indictment and was also denied bail over and over again, but he is still appealing it, and there are still ways for him to appeal it. I don't even think it's only just one. I think there's still a few more steps he could exhaust. Excuse me, the lights are flickering. Stressed. It did it again. Let me try and hurry up. He's pled not guilty. He's appealing, trying to get bail. He's trying to get out of jail. He's being held in jail right now until the trial. And the trial isn't even scheduled to start until May of next year. I mean, that's like 6, 7, 8, 9 months away. Like I think 8 or 9 months. Quote, "We will let the allegations in the filed complaints speak for themselves and will work to see that justice is done," Attorney Tony Busby said in a statement. Quote, "We expect to be filing many more cases over the next several weeks." Okay, so this is the attorney that's suing, the one that filed these statements. He said, "We're expecting to be filing many more in the next few weeks, so just buckle up." Basically, I'm paraphrasing. Y'all can read the quote here. These suits will be, quote, "naming Mr. Combs and others as defendants as we continue to gather evidence and prepare the filings." Now I did spend over 2 hours last night reading the new Kanye West filings, and I will tell y'all there are some alarmingly similar allegations in the Kanye West complaint. The amended complaint. I didn't finish. It was 86 pages long. I did the first half, but it was over 2 hours. So y'all should go check out the live stream over there. I do also have new things coming out over on BJ Investigates. Make sure that you're subscribed. And I have a P. Diddy playlist that is linked in the description box down below. That's all I really had for now. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, and neither is reading a little Rolling Stone article, girl. Love you, minute. Okay, bye.
Welcome into my world. You're playing my game. Thought that you could come up and they're fitting off of my name. Talking out the side of your neck like you're insane. Cortisol levels to the roof, inflame. Kids these days so shameless. Selling out real friends for a paycheck. Mama didn't teach them no home training. Wanna be me so bad, but they failing. Step to the plate though. I'll take a challenger. I ain't scared of no low life scavenger. I should warn you though, if you haven't heard, I ain't no Colleen ukulele ballager. Shots been fired. Wanna tell that? Say it to my face though. Now behind my back, won't be long till you share it in the group chat. And when I call you up, you're gonna backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth. That's me though, how it all turned out.